I recorded this video alone in my room, but when I checked the footage later, I realized I wasn't alone. Echoes of real horror based on real life.
This is something I still think about almost every night. And no matter how much I try to explain it, I can't. This happened a few months ago when I was living alone in my apartment. I'd been there for almost a year. Nothing strange had ever happened before. No weird sounds. No strange feelings. Just a normal place. That's why what happened that night didn't make any sense. It started like any other day. I came home late around 10 p.m. Had dinner, scrolled through my phone. Watched a few random videos. I remember feeling tired. Nothing unusual. Around midnight, I turned off the lights and went to bed. The room was quiet. Completely quiet. And at some point, I fell asleep. I don't know what time it was. When I suddenly woke up, there was no sound. Nothing that should have woken me. I just opened my eyes. At first, everything felt normal. But then, I noticed something strange. The bed felt heavier than usual. Not by much, but enough to notice. It felt like the mattress had slightly sunk. On the other side, I didn't move. I just stayed still, trying to understand what I was feeling. Maybe I was imagining it. Maybe I was still half asleep. That's what I told myself. But then, I felt something move. A small shift. Like someone adjusting their position. On my bed. That's when my heart started beating faster. Because I live alone. There is no one else in that apartment. Slowly, I opened my eyes. The room was dark, but not completely. A faint street light was coming through the window. Just enough to see outlines. I turned my head, very slowly, toward the other side of the bed. And for a moment, I thought I saw something. A shape, lying there. It wasn't clear, just a darker shadow. Against the darkness, I blinked, trying to focus. And then, it disappeared. There was nothing there, just the empty bed. I let out a slow breath, told myself it was just my imagination. Maybe sleep paralysis, something explainable. I turned back, facing the wall, and closed my eyes. But then, I felt something that I can't explain. Right behind me. Breathing. Slow, steady. Not mine. I froze instantly. My entire body went still. The sound was too close. Like someone was lying right behind me. Facing my back. I could feel the warmth. That's what made it worse. It wasn't cold. It felt real. Like an actual person. I wanted to turn around. But something in my mind kept saying, "Don't move." So I didn't. I just lay there, listening to that breathing. Seconds passed, but it felt like hours. And then, it stopped. Completely. Silent. I waited, just to be sure. And then slowly, I turned around. Nothing. The bed was empty. Completely empty. I got up immediately. Turned on the lights. Checked every room. The kitchen. The bathroom. The balcony. Everything was locked. Everything was normal. But I didn't sleep again that night. The next day, I tried to ignore it, told myself it was just a bad dream. But deep down, I knew it was, because it felt too real. That night, I stayed awake. I didn't want to sleep. I kept the lights off, just lying there, watching the ceiling. And then, the bed moved again, slightly, like someone had just laid down next to me. My eyes were open this time. I was fully awake, and I still couldn't see anyone. But I could feel the weight, clear as day. And then, slowly, the blanket moved, like someone was pulling it, covering themselves, right next to me. That's when I got up. I didn't think. I just stood up, turned on the lights, and stepped back. The bed was still slightly pressed down, like someone was still there, lying next to where I'd been. I didn't stay there after that. I left that same night, didn't pack properly, just grabbed what I could, and left. A few days later, I went back during the day, just to collect the rest of my things. Everything looked normal again, nothing out of place, until I looked at the bed. The pillow had a dent on it, like someone's head had been resting there recently. And right next to it, there was another one. Mine, side by side. And even now, sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I still feel like I'm not sleeping alone.
Echoes of real horror based on real life.